All of it.
Oh, there we go.
So, welcome everyone to our final Halloween Horror Nights podcast until the event begins. So,
it's so sad, Owen, you know?
it seems like only yesterday we were doing our first one, and now we're doing number 11 this year.
It's coming closer to the day.
It really
I know.
is. And I mean, we're going all the way back to April 17th of this year where we did our first Popcast on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And now here we are. We are not even 2 weeks away from the event. And we are now ready to do our meetup Popcast.
Yay!
Hooray!
So welcome everyone to that's in live chat. I see I see some new faces here. I see some familiar faces like Timbo and Lonald and I Want the Truths. And I see the Usherettes here and let me see, Crazed Badger 100 and Orlando Longboarding are new to chat that I don't recall seeing in the past. Usherette said it took me until today to finally watch Texas Chainsaw. The podcast or the movie? That's my question. Hey, you have to ask sometimes. Welcome, everyone, to another edition of the Halloween Horror Nights podcast here on the Popcast Network. My name is Sir Owen, as you well know by now. And I have a major, and I mean like cataclysmic major, like in all caps, like with 9,000 exclamation points, like it's Randy from Funny People from Aziz Ansari. And it is basically to announce something major at the very end of the podcast.
It's going to be dropping like a nuke.
Oh, I'm going to be dropping some knowledge on everyone tonight. It's going to be fun. I sound so not in the right set right now when I say that. So, okay, first off, let's address the elephant in the room. First off, Timbo is talking about a Trey Parker and Matt Stonehouse and has been for the last 45 minutes in chat. I want to mention that real quick before we start.
I thought the elephant was me.
No, we'll get to that. Welcome, Bruce Safus. And also, I want to welcome everyone to our panel here. We are the elite of the Popcast Network. And first off, from the elite tonight, we have Will, who's on mute as always. We're gonna call him Mute Smith from now on.
Okay, I'm right here. Okay.
Welcome, Will.
Okay, I didn't do this intro the last time, so I'm going to do it right now. Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Jimmy, and I'm back with my Halloween Horror Nights video. How's that?
Here on the Popcast Network, we do not condone anything that the other podcasters say.
Gilly confirmation is not.
Nice going, Will.
Shout out to Doc. Hopefully someday we can get him here on the podcast. I know a lot of you out there would love to hear that. So maybe we can work that out sometime. You never know. We'll see. Welcome, Darren. All hail the network, as always. And that's a double meaning now. It really is. Yeah, we're talking about, like, spooky Mormon hell dream from Book of Mormon. Yeah, Usherette, I understand that. So, once again, also from the elite, we have a twofer here because of working on The Haunt that Cameron's running. Tyler is with him, and also Andrew's there as well. Don't know if he'll be joining in at all tonight, but welcome the young bucks of the Popcast Network. First, we have Cameron.
Ahoy!
And we have Tyler.
What's up?
Tyler, is Andy going to say anything or not?
What happened?
Is Andy going to say anything or not?
Oh no, he already left.
Okay.
He went to the woods.
He already went back to Mars.
He wanders the earth like David Carradine and comes to the cabin.
He's droning right now.
That's interesting. So also welcome to chat Daniel McDonald and Whit Williams. So yeah, we're going to have some fun. But before we get started, I do have to mention something that we have a couple special guests.
Oh, wow.
Really? Anyway.
No, you completely forgot me.
No, I didn't.
Not even that loud.
The interrupting cow of the Popcast Network.
Moo!
We also have somebody who just got a lot of new blood brought into the Coaster Casters earlier today, and that is Travis.
I want to welcome John Cena to chat. John Cena. Sorry, had to.
No, you didn't. Not when we're live. Like, before I was interrupted, I do want to mention that we have some special guests tonight, and they're people that, for those of you that have been listening to Popcast for a while, that have been watching the comment section on videos from people here in the Elite, they would know these names pretty well. One of which is someone that you can find scaring the daylights out of you on the regular, and that is the man in the mala vest. Welcome, Mark.
Hey, thanks, guys. Hey, Zeke, back off. Sorry, I had to take care of a freaking zombie problem. Real big problem here in the Orlando area.
Yes, I know. There's a lot of bath salts in the area. There just still is from last year. And Mark, we're very glad to finally have you here on the podcast.
Yeah, no problem, man. No problem.
Whoops.
And the big surprise of tonight is the fact that somebody that I guess you could say, in all essence, has been a legend in the chat room. Somebody that has been in the chat pretty much since day one. The only time he misses a show is when everything doesn't really line up, which isn't very often. He is a loyal fan of the Popcast Network. He's someone that is going to be joining the network full-time to do something really unique and different, and that's being worked on right now. So we can't really talk about it yet. But I can tell you from what I've heard and what I've seen that this is going to be something revolutionary. And it's not something you're expecting from the network, but it's something that's going to be coming your way very soon. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the person who got his water thanks to Jason Voorhees last year. You might know him as Barrel Bob, but we call him our good friend Brian.
What's going on, everybody? I don't know if I can top Will's intro or bath salts, but it's good to be here.
Well, I mean, we have talked about the legendary, pun not intended, story with you and Jason in the water. And I think it's time to actually have the person who had it happen to them tell the story.
Oh, geez, am I going to be like one of those like network shows where they're like, we're going to interview the eyewitness. This is exactly what he saw. We'll
just don't tell me, Brian, just don't tell me what the tornado sounded like. We'll be just fine.
Okay.
Next time on 60 Minutes.
But well, yeah, I know it was actually pretty. That was pretty crazy for me because in reality, with with that narrow corridor over by Disaster, it was pretty crazy because everybody's bumping into everybody, and here I thought some guy was trying to cut the line or like get in my clearly fall over into me or something. And then the next thing I know, I see this blade go. I don't know if it was a blade at first. It's just this thing goes right by my face, and I'm like, what the hell? And like whoa, who's doing what over here? Bad touch, But and then I see all of a sudden hitting the button. And I look over like, oh geez, and I was like, oh okay, I get it. He's thirsty. He's been running around, scaring teenage girls. I get it. So he's thirsty. So yeah. But then it turns out he also provides service. He gave us our refills.
Yeah, he fights the good fight, kills all the couples, and he also gives you H2O. So there you go.
Yeah, which I was quite shocked because I'm like, wait a minute, you're pouring me water? Like, shouldn't you be running away? Now I'm all confused. Continuity's just out the window now. So.
Indeed. So yeah, we had to tell that story because we've heard this so many times, and I thought the actual person that it happened to needed to tell the story for a change.
Of course, you got to get to the actual findings.
Okay.
I wish I saw that.
Oh yeah, well, I wish the entire time I always had my camera out 24/7, and when just the one time that I'm like, oh, I don't need this, let me put it in my pocket just so we can grab a drink. It was like the one time. So.
Well, isn't that always the case when the best epic moments happen off camera?
That is, and then you got 10 hours of footage of uselessness. You're like, oh, if I only had the one shot, it would have been worth all of that. So.
Yeah.
So because Brian and Mark are going to be our guests tonight, I thought it would make perfect sense to get their opinions on the houses and the scare zones and the shows this year before we actually started talking about the main event of this podcast, and that is the official announcement of the meetups.
Oh, all right.
So, Mark, we're going to start with you, and we're going to start with the scare zones.
Oh, just like a ranking? Okay, that's...
You don't necessarily have to rank them per se, but just give a little bit of something about them. Make it a little easier.
I think I'm interested in like A Chance in Hell because of where it's at. It's in production central, so it's a really congested area. And not only that, like one of the houses, American Horror Story, is going to be right there. It's going to be interesting how that's going to be managed out. And I'm just going to say this right now. I know at least one scare actor in each place, either a house or a scare zone. So I can't wait to see that dude over there. And the bigger stage that they're going to pull out for that zone, I just want to see what happens and see how bad it's going to get.
Fair point.
Yeah. Now, Survive or Die. It's been a while since we had like a post-apocalyptic themed scare zone since, what was it, like 21, which is like my first video I've recorded, like when they did Acid Assault. So I want to see how they're going to play this out for the aesthetics, because I already love like all the props that are out there, so I can't wait to see how all that's going to be implemented. And also with that stork being there, so it's going to probably be like that literal gasping for air. Let's see here. Dead Man's Wharf. Now, since 25, I think that scare zone over there near what used to be Disaster has been really cool, in my honest opinion. And like that boat right in the middle of the scare zone, it just looks awesome. But it's like you can't put it out on camera, is that the smells. It's like it smells like old, waterlogged, objects in there, which I really love. Now, Banshee's Lair, it might have potential, but I'm not really sure about it. It's just like, it's kind of like every other one that's been set in Central Park. It's pretty much the same thing, but just with different creatures and all that stuff. So hopes on that are pretty low as far as my standards. And then Vamp 55. I gotta tell you, it was literally a joke within the scare actors. Like while we were at our workplace, we're like, this can't be serious. This can't be real. Really, greaser vampires? And then it's like, okay, I guess it's real. So really, it's like, it's one of those jokes that the scare actors, talk amongst about, like how it's a joke zone.
And we're also going to have roaming hordes this year, which we may or may not know what's going on with those. But I'm going to keep that aside. I'm curious to see exactly what's roaming and how many people are roaming this year.
Yeah, it's probably going to be the same thing with the chainsaws like last year.
We shall see. So we move on to the houses.
Okay. American Horror Story. I'm just looking off of the map that I downloaded on my phone, but like, I cannot wait for American Horror Story. I literally sped through all 4 seasons on Netflix, and I am addicted already. So I really can't wait for American Horror Story to be in the house, like Murder House, Freak Show, and Hotel. I really want to watch Hotel right now, but like, I am an addict to American Horror Story, just like Brian a few podcasts ago. Exorcist. Now, I don't know if I should get in detail what's going to be in there, but the concept for it's like really interesting, and I'm gonna love how it's going to be played out. So, Exorcist, I really can't wait for that to go inside and go in. I forgot the demon's name, but that's how much I know about the movie. But
Pazuzu.
Yeah, Pazuzu. Thank you, Tyler. Then, now, the next one is the Ghost Town, the Curse of Lightning Gulch. I'm not sure about that one. I don't know much details about Ghost Town that was originally over at Islands, if I remember right. But it's a Western themed one, so that should be an interesting, setting. We haven't had a Western themed horror house like in ever, so I think that should be a good turnout. The Walking Dead. What do I have to say about The Walking Dead that doesn't put it in a bad light? There's more on putting it on a bad light than there is on a good light. But the good thing is, this should be the last one this year, which has been talked about between characters that it will be. So, which is good. So, this year it's going to be like all 6 seasons put together, which hey, if you want to go out in the bang and put all your best scenes in and then get it over with. Now, the next one is on my, I'm just going to list down, Lunatic's Playground 3D. This one's going to be an iffy house because of the location of, Bill and Ted over there. How loud is it going to be inside of there? So that's a big, question right there, and besides, the location. But that one, I'm kind of slightly interested in how they're going to play that one out. And this is, supposed to be Chance's house, so this is also a little bit of a concern for me because this is an icon house, so I'm very concerned about that. Texas Chainsaw Massacre on my list. For the past, 3 years that the houses that were set in tents, they were at the top of my list, from Halloween to Insidious, and now if we go through Chainsaw Massacre and it scares the everlasting, gobstopper out of me, it's definitely going to be at my top list again. Now, Tomb of the Agents, another, original house. I'm definitely going to love what's going to happen in there because I know somebody's going to be inside of that house. So I hope they really go after me. So, all different types of mummies in there. Interesting concept. Let's see how they actually pull it off. Hopefully it's not like one of the stinker houses, kind of with my concern with Lunatic's Playground. Halloween, Hell Comes to Haddonfield. I cannot wait for that one. I was scared crapless when the first Halloween was there, so I really cannot wait for Halloween to show up this year and see what they can do in the hospital. And last but not least, the comedy house, Krampus, which of course is going to be back in the Shrek Theater this town. And I need to note that they actually, when I put out a rumor that they're going to put it right next to the Top Hat building and Hello Kitty, I was right, and they're going to put the line out there, so that's going to really help mitigate that congestion. So I really can't wait for Krampus either because I saw the movie, and it was scary and funny at the same time, so I can't really wait to see what they can do with that.
Very true. And your thoughts on Academy of Villains as our second show?
Why are you here? Why even bother with another show?
Now, I have a question for that.
Okay, go ahead, Travis.
Which one would you rather want, Academy of Villains or Jabberwockies?
They're both out of California, so it's got to, pick which lesser of the evils. Because, like you said, Jabberwockies is the freaking wannabe Hollywood undead, and screw that crap. So I would have to pick Academy of Villains if I want to pick either one.
And with the various add-ons we have this year, with Express and with the Ultimate Frequent Fear, and now with the fact that we have Character Dining's back, and now we have the repository, my question to you, honestly, Mark, is what is your thoughts on the repository? If money weren't an object, would you do it? And if money is an object, would you do it?
Now, if it wasn't an object, I would definitely want to try that because... the screenshots, it looks like it's not like you're hooked up to a computer. It's I don't know, antennas poking out of the VR headsets. So either way, I'd be interested in doing it. But I want to see how they are going to pull this off because they pulled off characters that are originally assigned to different houses and scare zones and saying, hey, you're going to be doing the repository. So it's a new experience for everyone, including the scare actors there. So I can't wait to see what they're going to do there, so I'm definitely going to buy myself a ticket eventually down the line to be able to go through that and give my honest opinions about it.
Okay. So we move on to Brian. Your thoughts on the scare zones?
The scare zones, yes. Let's start off with Banshee's Lair. I guess it's about the same as last year and the year before that. I mean, it'll look good. I saw pictures of the little sets, little huts, as you call it. They look pretty cool. So we'll see how that one does. But I don't know. I'm still one of my problems, and I love the show, and I love Carnage Returns, and everything was great. But my one problem with that area last year, it felt so congested already, along with the park, but just especially that area, it just everything's felt so, cramped together that it's like, well, as much as I'm glad the show's there, it's kind of impeding on the space, so I kind of see everything works there, and but like I said, we'll see. It looks pretty good. Dead Man's Warp, I love the big ship, right in the front. That looks pretty cool. I'm hoping that mannequin with the costume on is kind of like the same thing that I guess that's what the scare actors are going to wear. We'll see how that goes. Chance in Hell, excited for the concept. I'm just confused on the location. I get it. I was kind of thinking yesterday. I thought to myself, man, what if the Lunatics house actually got like a sound stage? I kind of thought like, well, what would that kind of be like? Versus if we put like, I don't know, Exorcist and into that location or some other one, depending on which one you put in there. But I think it'll work for the it'll bring in everybody. I'm just worried about like selfie everywhere. I'm worried about like the selfie thing in that area.
Mm-hmm. That's going to be a pandemic.
Yeah, like if that's going to be like the actual area for all that, it's like, ooh, that's, and then you got like all the houses on that strip right there. It's like, ooh, it's going to be a little insane when you go into. So, but then Survive or Die, it could work. It's great. It's interesting. As I was saying, it kind of feels like you're making that like an actual theme of the scare zone with everybody being all cramped in there. It's like, no oxygen for you. Fight for the oxygen and the beer. I can fight for two things this event. But hey, cannibals, air cannibals, it could be good. We'll see. And let's see, Vamp 55. But hey, the only thing I got to say about that is I love the concept, but if they don't do this, I'm gonna be so disappointed. I really want, they got that little backstage door right there by the area. Like at some point, randomly throughout the night, I really want the DeLorean to pull in, and Doc just get out and go, "What have we done?" Like just some kind of like just like there's some parallel back in time thing where everything got reversed and all the greasers became vampires and stuff. I thought that would be hilarious to tie into the whole like theme of it, just to have like some kind of upset in the whole time stream. But
yeah, it would probably not happen because of the line management over near the Academy of Villains, so that's never going to happen.
That's true. Yeah.
But awesome idea. I love it.
I don't know. I thought it would be funny, just kind of winking, because if you're already playing all the doo-wop music and everything else, like just go the full mile. Well, when it's not in Bill and Ted, just wheel it around and have it do a little cameo. But anyway, no, I love the concept. I can't wait to see if they're gonna do like the big floats, kind of like Face Off. I was wondering if they're gonna do like some big Face Off, kind of like wheel in some big float props. So interested to see that.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So we are moving on to, real quick before we move on to the actual houses themselves, my question to you is the roaming hordes this year.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know. Have we heard really anything specific? Like anything at all about any kind of clues?
Nothing's 100% official, and we will all find out for ourselves when opening night comes.
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
all right.
Oh, yeah, Bob, you forgot about the Banshee's Lair. What are your opinion on that one?
Oh well, no, I kind of mentioned it in the beginning that like I'm interested to see it. Yeah, I guess I kind of passed by it.
Well, I guess how forgettable it's gonna probably be.
Yeah,
we will see. So we are moving on to the houses now.
Oh yeah, the houses. It's a good lineup this year. I like the balance. I was kind of worried that they were gonna like you got your originals last year. Now we're gonna like overhaul it with IPs or something. But it's a good balance this year. I like it.
Yeah, unlike Hollywood.
Yeah. Well, hey, they could do. And to be fair, I'm that one guy. You'll find where it's just like I don't know. I kind of could go for a what is it? Clowns 3D2. Like just don't ask me why. I've never even been in it. I've never even like entered it before.
Hardcore Harry in the Terror
I don't know. Just something about it. So. But yeah, so they could do a good lineup. I'd say I'd like to see another original from them.
So, what are your opinions on the 9 houses this year?
Well, I guess let's start with the two big ones for me. Well, not big ones, but two like skippable ones, I guess you could say. But you know, Walking Dead. What can you say? You know, it's here again. I make the joke every year, of, like The Walking Dead. You know, well, at least it wasn't a scare, or at least it wasn't a house this year. You know, if they made it a scare zone again, they could just dump it off in kids zone. And be like, okay, there you go, there's your zombies. But you know, it is what it is. You know, it could be good. Hey, you know, they got that big building, and you know, they can do a lot with it. You know, they're doing all seasons, right? Aren't they doing like every season?
Yeah, it's gonna be like a compilation of all the best scenes from all seasons.
Well, there you go. You know, I actually I kind of took my time with the series. I never really like, you know, I kind of watched at my own pace. But my problem was you'd watch it on Netflix and they'd like premiere it on Netflix like 3 weeks into Horror Nights. Like, well, a lot of good this does me.
Yeah, really.
So I try my best to catch up on it while I can. So, you know, but I've never had a bad experience with it. I've only seen 2014 and 2015. So I can't really say like you know, I haven't say I've had my fix per se. I haven't ever had a bad experience, except for one time. I will say there was a guy in the front like walking in the line of Walking Dead last year. I wasn't even anywhere near the front entrance, and he's like, no filming. I'm like, I'm not even filming. What? He's like, no filming. I'm like, it's the outside. We're not even in yet. Like, I'm not even near the door. Just catching this front here. And so he kind of apparently had an issue, I guess, or something about making sure, like, hey, nobody films. Like, I get it, man. I get it. So,
Yeah.
but anyway, so like I said, Walking Dead. It'll, you know, we'll see. Might be good. American Horror Story. It might be good. I think I've seen like one promo once. So like I'm very new, very fresh to that. I could be open to anything. You got me with that one.
Yeah, better watch it on Netflix as soon as you can.
Yeah, well that's kind of, you know, like I said, I'll catch up while I can, but it's just one of those, like, it kind of just aired, and I just never you know, caught up with me until like a couple of years ago, and they're like, yeah, they should do this American Horror Stories house. I'm like, the what now? And they're like, oh yeah, this thing. I'm like, okay, well, cool.
Yeah.
But I've heard a lot of good things. You know, I've heard very decisive fans, but very, very positive things that I've heard. So, hey.
Yeah, even the scare actors can't wait to be in that house. That's
Well,
how
there you
excited
go.
it is.
There you go. Well, hey, if there's that much excitement for it, hey, great. Can't wait to see it. You know, show me that excitement, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see. Exorcist. Hey, that was one of, I think it was either the first or second horror film I ever watched as a kid. Like, my dad was totally. It was that dad was like, okay, well, don't tell anybody I'll let you see this. You know, but here you go, watch. You know, like all the classics, nothing new. Like all the like Exorcist and like the original Salem's Lot and stuff like that. So I'm excited to see this. I mean, who wouldn't be? You know, it's a classic. I can't wait to see, you know, some of the everybody says, you know, the whole thing about one room. I don't know, that'll be interesting. You know, we'll see what they can do with that.
That's not actually what I've heard. I can't really spoil any details.
Oh, okay.
If I want to go back for audition, I don't want to spoil anything.
I see. I got you. Okay, well, at least the official, non-official wink of not every room. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's cool. So yeah, like I said, classic. It's gonna be good. Ghost Town. Hey, I love westerns, so I'm all excited. I never saw. I guess what is this? This is a requel. You know, it's not. It's kind of it was based off something before.
Yeah, it was like Ghost Town all the way out when it was over in Ireland, if I remember right.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, no, I love westerns, so I'm excited to see this. All I gotta say, I was thinking about it yesterday. I said, if I really wish there would be a Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare cameo. I'd love to see like a John Marston zombie cameo in there. I know it probably never happened, but I'd be like, oh, that'd be great. Just put that in there somewhere.
Or John Wayne.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's zombie John Wayne. That'd be great. So yeah, I'm interested to see. I guess, you know, this whole curse thing. You know, that's always interesting. What somebody does with the curse. You know, there's always kind of different things you could do with that. So,
yeah.
So that'll be pretty exciting. Texas Chainsaw. I saw that one in 2007. 2007 was my first year. And that was like the last house that I saw. It was like the end of the night. And they're like, oh, can we really just go through anything else? And they're like, all right, we'll shoot in Texas Chainsaw. There you go. We'll end the night. So, and it was really good. I don't know if it's because I was so tired after doing all that. It just got me at the very end. But seeing Leatherface just, you know, just popping out everywhere, like, oh, geez, God, like that really woke me up. And you know, I had to go fight the crowd to get home. But anyway, you know, it's, I'm glad to see it again. It feels like a strange almost kind of trifecta of like all these classic icon killers. We got like Michael Myers and then Leatherface, and this is a little different than '07 because we had Freddy and Jason last year. So that'll be that's always exciting to have them back.
Yeah, it's been too long since Texas has been at the event, so
that's
it's been
true.
due.
That's true. That's true. It felt like Leatherface just kind of chilling to the side the whole event last year. He's like, when's it gonna be my turn? Like, when do I get to do this again?
Or he's just waiting patiently, polishing the chainsaw, and it's like, now it's my time.
There you go. Yeah, him and Eddie are like polishing chainsaws.
Brian, you just turned Bubba Sawyer into Napoleon Dynamite.
Sorry, my accents are kind of all over the place. You'll learn that about me. Like, I'll do an accent like, well, that's not even remotely close to what it is. Like, well, don't worry, it's an accent. It's good. So.
I want to do what I feel like. Gosh.
So Emperor Sephiroth is in chat, and we had him on the podcast last week. He says, "Wow, Barrel Bob is on. How's it feel? Fun, right?"
It's weird. It feels like you're like, whoa, what? I'm on the other side. I can't. It's a strange sensation. Like I feel like I want to type everything, but I'm glad that I don't because it'll take too long. So.
That's the beauty part of actually being live.
Like it's still compelling to me.
Of course. And you're moving on to your next houses?
Oh yes. See, that's the other thing about it. You keep forgetting. You're like, oh, I did this. Like, no, you're still going. Like, oh, crap. Okay.
You got 4 left.
Yeah, there's a lot of them this year.
There is. Like to remember it all. You're like, oh, and then you got to think about it. And you're not even there yet. You'll get the hang of it. When the event's starting, but you're still getting in like formation period right now.
Yeah.
So, but Tomb of the Ancients. I mean, that's gonna be cool. Like. I don't know, kind of like the Ghost Town. I was hoping to see a Brendan Fraser cameo in there or something. I don't know, or at least it's like a cup of coffee somewhere. Like they got to put like a cup of coffee somewhere in like the maze.
Well, it's like going to be like Egyptian mummies, and I forgot there were a few other type of mummies in there. So it's not just based on Egyptians. So it's like all different types.
Well, that's true. I don't know. I just figured if you're gonna do anything with Egyptian, just like some kind of little nod would have been funny.
Yeah.
But, yeah. But I don't know. I'm excited to see like this whole narrow concept. They're very crammed together. It just seems like kind of interesting. It's you're already kind of like I don't want to say like crammed together, but when you're like all smushed together with several other people and getting those like giant plastic curtains smacked in your face every couple of feet.
Yeah.
You already feel kind of isolated to begin with, so I'm like, well, I can't wait to see it kind of on steroids.
Well,
so
who knows? Like because they've tried to implement it before, and then they just turn it off because I guess somebody is just too claustrophobic. So.
Hey, that happens. People, I've met some people with some crazy like what ifs. I'm like, well, I never thought somebody would be that traumatized by something, but I could totally see that, especially something like that. They got to play it safe, I guess.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But let's see, and then Halloween. I mean, hey, it's Michael Myers. It was good. It was good in 2014. It's gonna be good again. I'm excited to see like the parade building. They got that the bigger space to work with. So excited to see how that goes. And hey, and like I said, it's great to see the combination of Leatherface and Michael Myers. So.
And at least they did. And at least they did it right, where it's like the sequel to the movie. Unlike friggin' AWIL.
Yeah, really, that's for sure. At least you're getting a traditional sequel, yeah.
Yeah, not a friggin' remake.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes remakes would be okay, but there's a lot of times you take your chances with that. It's good to have the cautious sequel this time around. Mm-hmm. And then Krampus. Hey, I'm excited. I watched the movie again. It was like 2 days ago or something. I was like, let me pop this in and check out Krampus, and I love it. I know a lot of people hate it. I've heard some people are just like can't stand it. It's garbage. I'm like, hey, it's I've seen some. It's a holiday film. It's one of those like you get together and you watch. You watch it with all the other stuff, and I think it's pretty funny. So to put that in like the maze last year, which in the same building as Asylum, which was one of my favorite houses last year. It's great to see what they're going to do again with that space. Like we saw what they could do before, so it'll be interesting this time to see what can they do a second time with that same space. Expand on it.
Well, it's actually not the same. Technically, not the same space. It's in the different theater, so it's on a different side.
Oh, okay, all right, gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, okay, still okay. That could be interesting. It'd be an interesting concept.
Just a little bit of insider info.
hey, I'm always for it. I'm kind of in the blind here. I just kind of show up. It's like, hey, horror nights, what's going on, man? Like, I'm always the last guy to learn things. Like, it smacks me in the face, my inbox. Like, what happened? Well, I just learned the Chance was the icon like 2 weeks ago. So,
Come with me. I will be your guide for tonight.
Hey, that works for me. Like, just leave me away. Just leave me there, like one of the drunk people going to stumbling to Bill and Ted or something.
Or to the police tent.
Well, that too. Yeah, exactly. Well, no, not that one. I don't want to go to that one. I've dealt with that one before. That's not good. Well, I'd rather go to the other one. But anyway, so and then I guess finally, Lunatic's Playground. It'll be interesting to see a Chance maze. It'll be good. I can't wait to see that. The 3D. I really want to see the whole set with Bill and Ted, the Men in Black kind of area. That'll be interesting to see, kind of like Silent last year. We had the Shrek building. It'll be interesting to see like the new concept for this one and how it develops now that we've lost Disaster.
All right.
Yeah.
So you'd be giving that house a chance?
That's for sure. I'll take a chance with that maze.
Okay, I quit.
Oh boy. Okay, and the final question I want to ask you, Brian, before we move on to the meetups, is the fact that the repository is the new deal this year. Obviously, we have Character Dining returning. We have the Ultimate Frequent Fear Pass. Everything I'd said when we talked about it with Mark a few minutes ago. So, with the repository, if money were no object, would you go? If money were an object, would you go?
Well, I guess if money was no option, well, sure. Why not? If money was no option and I could just do what I go 3 times just so I could experience, try it out, some kind of new experience for Horror Night. Sure, yeah, I'd go see it. Now, if it was an issue, then possibly. I don't know. To be fair, I've never really done a whole lot of VR things. I've never tried any like Oculuses or any of like the different products out there for VR. But I don't know. To be fair, I'd probably like wait a couple weeks or at least a week and then just hear what the reviews are, because it's kind of like movies. You wait around and you're like, oh no, this movie's gonna be great. Just take it what you will. Everybody has their opinion, but like Suicide Squad, you had all that build, like this is gonna be great. Actually, to be fair, Batman versus Superman maybe, but like this is gonna be great, and then you hear those reviews and you're like, oh, I don't know, maybe not, we'll see, but I'll still go see it. So it's kind of like that. You gotta feel it out first, in my opinion, with something like this.
Well, movie critics are they don't know any better, so it's up to anybody. It's your personal opinion if you like it or not. So I say screw movie critics.
Well, sure. It all depends. I guess because I always like to hear some opinion. I guess for me it's just like, well, let's see what they have to say. Then I'll decide. Well, that's garbage or not. But sometimes they never led me wrong before. It depends.
Mm-hmm.
But then sometimes, to be fair, I don't listen to them and then I see it later. On some Blu-ray edition or something, and it's fabulous. So
yeah.
And considering right here on this very network, we have a very successful segment on here where AJ reviews movies. So
that's
he's
right.
definitely
We can't
still a
forget
movie
about
critic.
Partner in Crime.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I'm talking about like those old movie critics. Those.
Oh, well, sure. Yeah, some people are like, okay, like everybody else, like there's a lot of people out here needs a job who would be good in that field. Maybe you want to like give that up and let somebody else take a reign for that. Oh, sure, definitely. There's some of them with like people who just bash superheroes just because it's a superhero.
Fair point. So another reason that I wanted to bring you both on here tonight was because you two have actually attended the meetups that we're about to talk about tonight.
Yeah,
indeed.
We have.
So, real quick, Mark, you were able to attend how many last year?
Damn, I forgot how many we attended, but I would have to look at my video lists of how many I've attended, but I think it might have been like 3 to 4, maybe more.
And what can you say about the meetups to somebody who is on the fence about attending?
Just come and join us. You meet other like-minded people that love Horror Nights, and we all can exchange ideas of like, okay, what would be a good like house to have here at Horror Nights, a like original idea that they could pull off. And if you're here at the right time for an opening weekend, let's just say not only will you be getting a workout from getting scared in the houses, you're going to be running around like a chicken with your head cut off.
Brandon's in chat. We had Brandon on a couple podcasts ago. He says, "Yeah, Mark, I remember you were there 3 times with me."
Yeah, that was like individual times.
Yes. So I think that's pretty nice recommendation from Mark, I'd say. Brian, on the other hand, got to attend a little bit more than that and had some really interesting experiences at the meetups.
Oh,
Brian,
that's for sure.
Oh, no lie. If you are on the fence about attending a PopHHN meetup for Halloween Horror Nights 26th, then give them some thoughts out there, the listeners and the viewers, depending on where you are right now. If you're listening on iTunes or if you're listening to us on YouTube right now.
In the future.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
The reason you should attend the meetup.
Well, let's just say, first of all, I guess, if you're looking for anything that's very, like, I don't want to say unpredictable, but there's certain things that could just happen out of nowhere. Case in point, somebody filling up your water glass for you. That always kind of adds craziness to things. But no, it's a fun time. Even if you have any accommodations at all, any kind of like you need to, you can't get in for stay and scream, or you got to get there later, or something's going on, or you got to go meet up with somebody later on. We're very accommodating. Everything's come and go as you please. But if you stick it out for the long haul, you're gonna have a great time. I'll tell you this much: if you plan on doing meetups, you will definitely see Bill and Ted, probably multiple times at that. That's just a promise.
Yeah, it's a guarantee.
That's the Popcast promise. Trademark, but it's good, just a great time all around. You'd be surprised what you could actually get done. Sometimes I got home late at night and I'm like, oh my god, we saw how much? How much did we actually see compared to sometimes when I've gone by myself, just alone trying to get stuff done, and then you go see like 4 houses before it's like, oh, the crowds, so it's. It's definitely, it helps move things along, and before you know it, the whole night's over. So.
Yeah. Or do a milestone, doing all 9 houses plus both shows on opening night.
Oh jeez, yeah. Oh yeah, exactly.
We've done it before, so it can be done again.
Mm-hmm.
I
guess the best way to sum up the Pop Network meetups is I'm going to quote the great Dr. Emmett L. Brown. You're going to see some serious crap.
So yeah, we'll be discussing that in a few minutes, Orlando longboarding. And also another thing I want to throw as a caveat: we don't use Express.
For sure. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Last year I think it was kind of like a disaster.
Oh yeah, last year was a disaster. No pun intended.
And with the pricing on Express getting a lot higher this year, it made it kind of hard to utilize, given the fact that, and I'll explain why in a little bit. I was always going to do this anyway, but things kind of changed a little bit thanks to another member of the Elite. We'll get to that another time. I will state right now that I don't know how many people on the network are agreeing with me, but I got the Ultimate this year. I get the Ultimate Frequent Fear, and I did not get Express.
Hey, I agree with you, because with me, with my job schedule, I'm going to take the Ultimate Fear because, hey, if I'm like bored out of doing after work, if I'm not too tired, I'll be like, hey, let me just go to the event. It's right there. So, yeah, I definitely agree with you getting the Ultimate.
So you're getting the Ultimate then?
Yep, definitely.
Brian, what's your ticket of choice this year?
I know I'm going to get flogged for this big time, but I really haven't even made my decisions yet. Like, not really, not even narrowed it down per se. I kind of narrowed it down between maybe, I don't know, like I probably won't be going as much to the event as last year because I kind of, like, it was a big 25 last year. You got to cram them all in. So this year, I might go for maybe either probably a Frequent Fear, but if push comes to shove, maybe a Rush of Fear. But more than likely at least multiple nights. That's a given. But it's just. I'm that last minute kind of guy where it's just like, okay, narrow it down, and especially with the prices increases, it's kind of, you got to plan things out. There's a little bit more extra than last year, so definitely feel out if it's, if it's worth paying a little bit extra, or if you want to go with that other one. So anyway, like I said, for me, it's kind of a toss up between the two right now.
Okay. Well, hopefully when we get done tonight, we can sway you to attend a night or two more than you were anticipating doing so, because we got a lot of really cool things to announce in a few minutes. But first, I can say on the topic of the pass, or what pass everyone's getting, I'm pretty sure that Tyler has Ultimate.
Yeah, I have Ultimate.
Wow, you're so cool.
And Cam in the background, I'm pretty sure he has Frequent Fear Plus, if I remember correctly, with Express.
He's lame. I have Frequent Fear Plus with Express.
Which is exactly what I said.
I'm going home. Thanks to the lame ass Tyler. He's gonna blow a bunch of money.
You have no lie on that one, Darren, honestly.
Fight me, Tyler.
Okay, so here's the thing with this. We're going to be doing a lot more than we did last year. Now, last year, we did 5. We did 2 for third week of the event, and then we did the final weekend of the event, except for closing night, obviously, because we're making closing night basically, in this year even more so because it's on a Monday, that basically you can come and go as you please anyway, regardless. You're not trapped into staying with or anything. You can come in and you can join back up with us later if you'd like. We're going to be continuously updating on Twitter, and I think Cam may be using Periscope a little bit during the event this year.
Yeah, you're not locked down like the LA gangs. We ain't gonna kill you if you leave.
It's not a Popcast chain gang or anything like that. Everyone's free to just go at their own. Well, I can't say go at their own pace. I guess you could say that everyone is free to be able to do whatever they want. You're not locked into doing anything. If you don't want to do a house, you don't do a scare zone, you don't want to go see Bill and Ted, then we can meet back up with people afterwards. And this year, I think we're going to do different parts of the night where we're going to meet up with new people that want to join us. And I will be putting up RSVPs on Facebook. And if you cannot if you don't have a Facebook, or you cannot use a Facebook for whatever reason, then get a hold of me on either the Popcast Network Twitter or my @SoroandDisney Twitter, and let me know you'll attend. Because for a couple of the meetups this year, we actually need to know somewhat how many people are going to be there, because that kind of depends on what we're going to do. All right. So there was a question that was asked in chat from Orlando Longboarding. It says, do you beat up during Stay and Scream or when Horror Nights opens? Well, here's the thing. I will state right now that, and Brian can answer this better than anybody, Brian doesn't have a actual park ticket, so he could not do Stay and Scream. And there was a couple people that did the meetups that couldn't do so. You'll hang out with Brian.
That's right. You get to know me. That's very exciting. I'll show you around. This is the front gate. This is where they set up the security booths. It's going to be great. You get to look at all of that. It'll be beautiful. They can poke your bag around 12 times, and their camera's half out of the bag. It's like, well, you can see what it is. I don't know why you're so snooping of it. So, yeah, you get to experience all the fun times of being out in the front.
Well, I guess it's going to be interesting this year since the security's out near the parking lots. So,
we'll jeez.
We'll see if it's going to be double down. You go through one and then you get to the other one. It's like, oh, come on, we just went through this once.
Just put a garage length size X-ray scanner the whole time, where the walkways are. Just put scanners right there while we're at it.
Yeah, let's just get beamed with a whole bunch of radiation.
Yeah, I don't know. Is it cheaper to go? Is it cheaper to pay just to go to the airport to get prodded and poked all the time?
So, like Brian was basically saying, you'll get to know him, you get to find out his hobbies, you get to find out what material that the gate is made out of, stuff like that, and little tidbits about him. So, I will state right now that you'll be able to join him. Here's the thing: for those of you that don't have park tickets, join Brian, or we will meet up with you after you get in the actual park itself. I don't have any issue with, after we get through a house, meeting up with new people from the group, and then we can move on. That's no problem at all. For those of you that have park tickets, though, I've got even bigger news for you this year.
Ooh.
Not only are we doing things during Horror Nights, we are doing things outside of Horror Nights this year. Darren, that number, I don't know if it's going to get in the triple digits, but I'm surely going to try. Let's just say that there's going to be involvement of things at City Walk, involvement of things at the hotels, and also involvements of the park themselves.
Sounds like a party.
Yeah, we're gonna have an interesting time this year. We're not gonna have
get drunk.
We're not gonna have a brick or treat meetup with.
It's a dead man's party.
It is. Travis had to go, so we wish Travis the very best, and he will be joining us on probably our next podcast, whenever that may be, sometime after the event opens. So, and we also will be joined momentarily by another member of the Elite, so we'll get her in here very soon.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yes, you probably do. So like I said before, if you do not have a park ticket, or even if you do have a park ticket, we can still accommodate you regardless. Stay tuned to the Twitter feed. I would say that I'll use the Suro and Disney Twitter feed for the meetups, given the fact that it's connected directly to my phone, so that's not hard. I have a feeling that Cam will probably be saying things on Twitter. Tyler usually says things on Twitter. Ian's not here, but he'll be joining us as well. And who knows? I can't promise this, but maybe some mystery people from the Elite that we haven't really officially met yet may be joining us for our meetups too. You never know who's going to be at a meetup.
And knowing is half the battle.
Yes. It's weird. The ages of the network Crazed Badger kind of varies, to be honest. We're all a very lively group. We have a very varied age group, honestly. The alcohol thing, obviously, it is it is not exactly, it's not my bag at all. I don't think anyone else in the Elite can legitimately drink on property. So there we go.
I choose to, but it's just too expensive.
So, yeah, if you want to drink during the event, we're not going to make fun of you or anything like that. We're no judgment group here on the network. So, yeah, there's a lot of cool things we're going to be doing. And if you want to be inebriated, fine, no problem. We're not going to turn anybody away from the meetups. We're just going to have a great time this year, talking Horror Nights, hanging out in the lines, and going through the House of Scare Zones, and going to see Bill and Ted and Academy of Villains. So let's officially announce this now. So Tyler, Cam, and myself all put our brains together, because if you're a wrestling fan, you would probably know that we're basically the representation of Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks for the Bullet Club. And we decided on this lineup. And not only do we have cool things that we're doing that we're announcing tonight, we have things that we're doing we're not announcing tonight. And you might want to keep watch on those Twitter feeds, because you never know what might happen outside of the official meetups. I will state, though, we are not doing anything officially opening weekend. The reason why is because we're going to get a feel of the event itself, maybe like get some game plans worked out. We're doing the AP event. We're also doing a couple stay and screen locations to try to get the lay of the land out a little bit. And given the fact that you're going to have pretty much, for most of us, 4 nights of the event to get our sea legs, in some cases, that's literally, I would say that it makes sense for us to just use the opening weekend to just hang out. Now, not to say that if you guys want to hang out on opening weekend, we're not going to be up for it. Like, you're more than welcome to join us if you'd like. We're not making anything official for opening weekend. I can say that. So I think that makes sense. So let's start with the event, shall we? We tried to make every meetup a weekend day because weekdays are kind of hard to attend. And there is only one exception, and that is the meetup on October 30th. And the reason October 30th is an exception is because last year we started a tradition. and it's something we're going to do yet again this year.
Oh boy.
Yes. All right. So Tyler,
Yep,
Cameron,
he's here.
Hello.
I know he's here.
I was trying to unmute mine.
Okay.
You can hear on mine too, so
You're
I
good.
think we're covered.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Let's officially announce the actual meetups.
With pleasure.
Okay, Craze Badger asked, do we do Sunday meetups? We've got one this year. But we may have rain check dates for a couple of things that we're doing that involve not being indoors. So you decide if anything wants to work that. And if you can't meet up for one of the official meetups, Craze Badger, we can always work something out. That's not going to be a problem. I can't promise everyone's going to be there because it's a Sunday, but I mean, I can promise that we could do something. And you never know, maybe Cameron's cat will show up because he's on the cam right now.
Bob.
Oh boy. Okay, so let's get to this. Orlando Longboarding asked the question, until this year I've never gone the first night. What time do you recommend I get there? I was thinking 3 p.m.
That's
It depends.
If you're trying to stay and scream, then 3 is a good time to get into the park. But as long as you're in the park before 5 o'clock, then you're all good. But if you're not staying screaming, then there's really no need to get there until I'd say about 4:30 or 5 o'clock.
Yeah, that's what I would
I got
suggest.
there last year.
And if you're a pass holder and you've already RSVP'd for the AP event nights, which you're going to be able to do that this Tuesday, they actually will put out the link so everybody can RSVP if they want. If you're doing the annual pass holder event nights, my actual answer is this. You need to be in the park before 5. They start their sign-ups around 4 o'clock. I would be in the park, in line at Battery Park, so you can be one of the first people back to Kids Zone Springfield.
Yeah.
Okay, William Skoog asked a question, for one night only marathon night with Express, what's the best way to see everything? Don't use Express until you have to. Because then you can use that Express time if you want to go hit a house a second time. I would say the front of the park is going to be a nightmare this year. I would get in, I would try to hit the houses early, try to get them on low wait times in the front of the park, and then make your way to the back slowly and make sure you hit Krampus along the way. Make sure, without a doubt, you see Bill and Ted, because with Express, you get the first showing of Bill and Ted with your Express. So make sure you're seeing Bill and Ted somehow. It's definitely worth it. Obviously, this is me we're talking about here. You understand how even more it's worth it by the time we actually get to the meetups. But yeah, if you're able to go one night only, I would definitely just make sure that you time everything out the way that works best for you. You can take breaks if you'd like, but if the lines are way too long, then you need to make sure you hit when it's the lowest. All right, Craze Badger has a pass that does Sunday through Wednesday. We could do something with you. We could actually do something with you on one of those days potentially. So that's not a problem at all. Just get a hold of me on Twitter and we'll work something out. All right. I Want the Truth says I want to show up at 8 o'clock just to get the full atmosphere walking in. Yeah, the earlier the better. And if you're staying on property, if you're staying at one of the on-site hotels, there is a location to the far right that is close to the walkway to the Hard Rock, and I would recommend using that entrance as well.
Before they rope it off for the annual pass holder early access outside the park.
But if you're doing AP event, I would never stay outside of the park. If you can get there early enough, make sure you're in the park when they actually do everything, because you don't want to wait outside the arch. The only thing you're going to be doing is you may get maybe a peek of the opening ceremony, potentially, if that, and it's not going to be worth it, other than the fact it's going to get you to head towards Horror Story and The Exorcist and Ghost Town and The Walking Dead and then over to Krampus. So, yeah. Now, we'll definitely do something, Craze Badger. Just get a hold of me on YouTube or Twitter or Facebook if you have it, and we'll discuss that. That's not a problem at all. Okay. So I was not stalling. I swear to you guys, I was not stalling at all. Because I know what's going to happen at 10 p.m. Jason McKee says, go to Bill and Ted first, hit the back of the park, then make your way around. Works perfect with Express. Need to see the first Bill and Ted because that's the only Express that you have for Bill and Ted. And I would state that you don't want to be anywhere near Bill and Ted or... Okay, you don't want to be anywhere near Lunatic's Playground after Bill and Ted lets out because it's going to be a nightmare.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting how that plays out.
We will get to that momentarily. But yeah, everybody has brought up some great questions tonight. If you have any more questions, let us know. There are some people in chat that actually exactly. There's a lot of people in chat that know a little bit about meetups as well. If you see the name Bizarro in chat, he definitely knows a lot about our meetups. So he was in attendance for a ton of them. So honestly, I wanted to have him on tonight too, but it's just last minute I just wasn't able to make it happen because basically we've been so busy with getting everything ready. It's just I forgot to ask, to be honest. So hopefully we can get Darren on a podcast somewhere down the line, and I hope that works out. So let's go into this. I will state right now that we worked really hard to come up with this lineup, and I think this lineup works best. I will state right now that I said on Twitter the magic number is 8, and that's exactly what we're doing. We're doing 8 actual meetups officially for 26. And most of them will be either a Friday or a Saturday. And there is one that's on a Sunday, and that's because it's a special situation. And this special situation, like I said, because it's tradition now. And granted, it's only a 1-year tradition, but traditions will not be broken now. So there we go. And the only reason why it's not on the night it was last year is because Halloween this year is actually on a Monday. So, yeah, it doesn't really work out very well. So, Cameron and Tyler, let's officially announce this.
Let's do this.
All right. So, on Saturday, September 24th, we are going to be going over to Toothsome Chocolate Emporium. We'll be meeting up at Toothsome at 1 p.m. And we are going to have food, have milkshakes, just hang out, just do whatever you want to do. I'm going to get a hold of them when they're officially open. I'm pretty sure that's going to be in the next week or so. I don't know if they haven't officially announced a grand opening yet. Everything's currently stone soft. But once we actually get an announcement and of how many people that are going to go, I'll get a hold of people at the actual restaurant itself, and I'll tell them we have a group coming. And after we get done with Toothsome, we are going to proceed to do Halloween Horror Nights. So we're going to be doing Toothsome and a night of Halloween Horror Nights on Saturday, September 24th. Like I said before, if you do not have a park ticket, then we can let everyone wait out in the gate. And for those of you that do have park tickets, you can go with us into the actual park itself, and we can go into a Stay and Scream location. My guess is probably going to be, I would guess, as long as it is officially one, and I'm pretty sure it will be, and that's going to be where Lucy Hello Kitty is. I think that's the closest one, and that way, once we get done with American Horror Story, we can meet up with the group, and then we can follow the Twitter throughout the night and pick up more people that want to join us. So we're going to get to hit Toothsome as a group. All right. On the next week, September 30th, we're going to do something very unique, and that's something that's going to benefit people that have actual tickets to the park, whether you have an actual day ticket or you have an annual pass. This is something that I really wanted to do this year, and I'm very glad that it actually worked out. And that's going to be an elite park day. What does this mean? Well, I will say at 11 a.m., we are going to go into the parks, some of us may go in earlier, just depends. But officially, we're meeting up at 11 a.m. We're going into the parks. We're doing a park day with the elite. I don't know how many of us will be there, but I can assure you you'll have at least a few. And we're going to pick people up a couple times during the day. And then that night, we're going to be doing Halloween Horror Nights. So you're going to get to experience an entire day, a literal day, with all of us. I'm really excited about this. Whit Williams is marking out. Thank you, Whit. We appreciate that. And anyone in chat, obviously this doesn't work for the people that are listening on iTunes right now, but anybody on chat that wants to give their input into the meetups, please let us know. So we move into October, and October 1st. October 1st is the meetup that I'm sure a lot of you really wanted to do, given the fact that it was the one that got the most, basically it got the most put over for everybody in chat. And that's the fact that we are doing Galaxy Bowl at Cabana Bay Beach Resort. So yes, bowling with the elite at 11 a.m. on Saturday, October 1st.
Hey, for the last time, Roman, I don't want to go friggin' bowling.
I will state right now that, oh yeah, that's another thing too. I'm pretty sure we have decided that one of the days will be in studios and one of the days will be at Islands. Oh, there's more. Yes, there's more. There's definitely more. October 7th, we are going to be going to Hollywood Drive-In Golf as a group at 2 p.m. And we're going to be doing the horror side of mini golf. So we're going to get to mini golf. It's going to be great. I'm excited for it. I talked to them and I was like, we're going to get group discounts. It's going to be amazing. So if you're wanting to go, like I said, RSVP on the Facebook page when it's available. I'll try to have it available most likely tomorrow if I can. If not, by the earliest, Monday morning. All the RSVPs will be available. And if you cannot RSVP on Facebook because you don't have a Facebook, or if you have no way to get to Facebook, then shoot me a message at Popcast Network or at Sir Owen Disney, and I will add you to the guest list. That's not a problem at all. On the next week, October 15th, we are going to be doing the sci-fi side of Hollywood Drive-In Golf at 2 p.m. Looking forward to that. I love the mini golf on Universal property, and I'm really excited to be able to do these with groups. I've had not very much experience with the mini golf at Universal. Most of it has been by myself. There's been a time that I have done it with a couple of other people, but by and large, I've done it basically by myself. But this time, we're going to be with all of you out there, and I'm really looking forward to this.
I'm going to suck at that.
October 21st, we are going to be going to my favorite restaurant, given the fact that that is 1 month away from my birthday. Yeah, my birthday's September 21st. So yeah, we're not doing anything for my birthday that I'm aware of, but if anything changes, I'll let you guys know. It won't be official if we are. It may be a day in the park, like a surprise meetup. Oh, I'll get to that momentarily. So
much for the surprise.
No, I'll get to that. The Hard Rock Cafe will be where we're going to meet at 1 p.m., and then we are going to move over to Halloween Horror Nights. And I'll tell you right now, with the mini golf and with the Hard Rock, we are going to be doing Horror Nights that night. And with Galaxy Bowl, we're going to be doing a day in the park plus Horror Nights that night. So not only are you going to get to bowl with us, you're going to get to ride rides with us, and you're going to get to do Horror Nights with us on October 1st. So yeah. It's going to be awesome. Looking forward to it. Or if you just want to hang out, you don't want to bowl, you just want to hang out and talk with everybody, that's cool too. No worries. Closing week. Closing week's the big one. We're going to be meeting up on October 29th. We're doing another day and night in the park, including Halloween Horror Nights. And that's going to be starting at 11 a.m., and it's going to run all the way until the end of the event. The same rules apply as the October day in the park. I will state right now that I tried to make it so we had a day, night in the park on Friday and Saturday so people can be able to go to both. So we're going to be doing Islands on one of those days, and we're doing the studios on the other day. And our final meetup is now a new tradition here on the Popcast Network, and that is the Bill and Ted meetup. The Bill and Ted meetup will basically include the first and last showings of Bill and Ted. It will include a few houses that have become some of our favorites, and we're going to be hitting some scare zones as well. So yeah, we're going to be having some fun on that night for sure. That is the official lineup. That's not the end of it. And Tyler knows where I'm going with this.
Oh, yeah.
So we're doing unofficial meetups this year. Like, let's say you're in the park during a Horror Nights night and you're just walking around. All of a sudden, there's a tweet that pops up on your tweet deck or just your Twitter in general, and it says, we're at ET Adventure, get here in 15 minutes, and we'll all ride together. We're doing stuff like that this year. And you never know. We may do something Elite-related not only on Universal property, but there's a possibility we may end up at Disney Springs. That's to be announced, though. Nothing official yet. That is the official lineup we have for the Popcast Network meetups this year. And, oh yeah, there's more. So this year, via the power of a great website called Zazzle, I mean, a lot of people use Spreadshirt. I don't mind Spreadshirt, but I've found that it's a lot harder for me personally to design things with Spreadshirt because of the way they do things. But more power to people that use it because it's a great site itself. It's just I haven't really comprehended it yet. So we've moved to Zazzle for us. If you notice, if you go to Popcast Network on Zazzle, we have some shirts available. You ain't seen nothing yet. Because officially, we are going to be doing some really cool designs for the shirts this year. And if you are, and obviously if you're listening to this, you are a Halloween Horror Nights fan, like we are here, you're going to like what we've got coming your way. We have an official meetup shirt, which is going to be very awesomely themed. I'm looking forward to that. And we are going to be putting out a house shirt and a Scare Zone shirt. 3 shirts at least before the event starts. And as the weeks progress, we're going to put out a house and a Scare Zone shirt every single week. And not only that, we've covered other things too. Whit Williams says he wants a shirt of The Undertaker and the Caretaker facing off. You know, it does sound like something we would come up with. And I can tell you right now, I won't go into details. You're going to have to wait and see. And I'll tease the daylights out of this.
Surprise.
Like I said before, if you like the event and you like the houses and like the Scare Zones and even like the shows, I think you might want to check out our Zazzle store throughout the event this year because we're going to blow your mind. Exactly. All designed by, like I said, the young bucks of the Popcast Network, Tyler and Cameron. They are really like making sure that these shirts look amazing.
They will.
And we will definitely, and I do mean definitely, knock your socks off this year. Whit Williams says do a TNA meetup. Funny you mentioned that. Because that may be a possibility, but it's not official. I can say that they are going to be doing TNA tapings. Bound for Glory is actually taping on October 2nd. TNA tapings from October 3rd to the 8th. And you never know. You may see a little Elite around TNA. And who knows, maybe you'll see a little Elite at Spooky Empire, maybe. And it's even possible you may see Elite at NXT. Everything is currently up in the air, but I'll tell you right now, the only things that's for sure is nothing's for sure. We have set this...
Except the announced meetups and the shirts.
Yeah, the shirts and the announced meetups are the only thing that I can say that are going to happen. Basically, what the times are going to be, they're going to be filming, like I said, after Bound for Glory, the 3rd to the 8th. So the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th, that Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday are not Horror Nights nights. So you could go to that, and most of us are going to go to that too. So But we'll leave that information on our Facebook fan page and on Twitter and everything. And you have to be asking yourself, Owen, don't you live in West Virginia? And my response is, yes, I do. But I can make an official announcement, and I'm very happy to say this. I'm not officially a resident yet. But for the months of Halloween Horror Nights, I will be at every single night of the event. So there will be plenty of opportunities to be able to meet up with me. Plenty of opportunities to meet up with Tyler and Cameron.
I was mentioned.
Yeah, I heard
Yes.
my name.
Plenty of well, there will be opportunities to meet up with Will. He will be there for the third week of the event, so he'll be joining us for those third week meetup.
I don't know if Will or Robert Joker Anderson will be meeting us, but
You never know.
Multiple personalities.
You never do know.
You never know if Robert Joker Anderson may possibly be there. But yeah, we wanted to knock your socks off this year, and we wanted to thank each and every one of you out there that have been sticking with us through all these Halloween Horror Nights podcasts, through all the videos of the Elite, whether it's my videos, whether it's Will's videos, it's Cameron's videos. Travis hasn't had a chance to be able to go yet, but he will go next year. Everything that's going, yeah, exactly. Everything that's going on, we wanted to do it for you guys this year. We're doing it for the fans, and we're going to be having some really awesome meetups. And again, if money's a situation, if that's a problem, we completely understand that too. If you want to just hang out and you don't want to participate, that's no problem too. We are going to accommodate everyone this year, including the sound of my own voice, which I'm hearing right now.
Talk about an ego trip.
I can't help it. I just hear the echo. I can assure you, and one thing that I can guarantee you right now is you're going to have a great time. You're going to be with like-minded individuals that love the event just as much as you, if not more so. And we are going to have a blast this year. And I can assure you, one thing is a guarantee. Every night of the meetups, you will see Bill and Ted.
That's a guarantee.
100%, especially this year, 100% guarantee. So yeah, that's what we've got for our meetups. So for those of you that are live in chat right now, feel free to leave your comments in chat about the lineup, if there's anything that we might have missed that you might want to do. Darren says, what the heck is going on here? This is madness, Owen, madness.
No, this is Horror Nights.
So yeah, we wanted to basically accommodate everyone. That's the reason we're not doing anything on weekdays, because we know it's really hard, especially for locals that have to work and people have to go to school. We understand that. So everything that's official is going to be on the weekends, which is a lot easier to go to. We're going to have a great time this year. I can assure you that right now.
I second
t-
that completely.
And Cam and Tyler both know this. The shirts this year.
Oh, yes.
We
You
have
guys
got
are
some
in
great
for a
stuff.
treat.
Yeah.
It better not be no trick.
I can assure you it's no trick. Tyler.
Yep.
Tyler and myself are going to be doing the repository on the first night of September 29th. It's already completely sold out for the time that we're going. We're going at 5:15. Tyler and I have talked about it, and I think as long as we're able to, we're going to be doing some sort of a video, maybe back at the hotel, maybe in the park, somewhere to be able to talk about the experience that we can actually say. Because we know that a lot of you out there are on the fence about doing the repository. And we know that there's a lot of people that are kind of being like, I don't know. So we're going to do it the first night, and we're going to give what we can about the actual experience itself. We don't want to spoil things because I have a guarantee that it's going to be worth seeing regardless. So we're just going to give you an idea what possibly to expect, and if it has, I guess you would say, the elite seal of approval. So Cameron, I believe, is doing the repository somewhere down the line.
Yes, I am.
And Lonald says, I wish I was able to attend this year. The cons of living in Ohio and being in college. I totally understand. We welcome you to a meetup down the line whenever you can make it.
Uber.
Uber down from Ohio. That's a great idea.
Hey, it's possible.
It's pricey.
Plus, the driver will probably want to kick you out about halfway through the trip.
Yeah, just make sure you tip him well, and everything will be okay.
And don't comment on his hula dancer, whatever you do.
Exactly. He has feelings. Exactly. So if anybody in chat right now has any questions about the meetups that we did not answer, please, by all means, leave comments. In the description bar, I'm going to put a list of everything, and like I said, we're going to get those RSVPs out on Facebook as soon as possible. And like I said, if you cannot RSVP on Facebook, then shoot me a message. You can shoot me a DM. You can shoot me a regular tweet at Sir Owen Disney or at Popcast Network, because I control both Twitter accounts, and we can hook you up. That's not a problem at all. I Want the Truth says my chance of doing the repository is still 50-60. 50-50. Yay! I read what it says. Okay, so Mark and Brian can answer these questions. How many people usually show up to the meetups?
The last couple of times, I think we've had a few dozen people. Hopefully we can see more this year.
Yeah, I have a... Go ahead, Brian.
It can vary. You know, I've seen sometimes where it's like, wow, I can't believe we've got this many people here. To, you know, towards the end of the night, people start dwindling off for various reasons. So,
Right.
You know, it all depends. But sometimes I have been quite surprised. Like, wow, geez, we got this many people together. That's quite, you know, a big deal. So, especially, you know, look at the pictures with Bill and Ted last year. You know, that we all got in a big group shot with. You know, there was quite a few.
Yeah, me sticking out my tongue and throwing out the forks.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, and make sure to throw up the too sweet whenever you take the picture this year, because it's only appropriate. And like I said, Cameron is probably going to be periscoping some of the meetups as well.
Yes, because I'm so good at periscoping.
I don't know why we've decided to put you in there.
It's like, okay, who's the periscoper? Okay, Cameron, you're the one. You're designated periscoper.
Congratulations, here's your promotion.
I'll try my best.
I think as of this moment, I think that the day in the parks on September 30th will be Islands, and the day in the parks on the 29th is going to be Studios. That sounds right. Now, if we all decide as a group we want to do it the other way when we meet up, then majority rules, so we can decide what we want to do with that. Darren says, I went with character dining and unmasking, repository still thinking. Hopefully, Tyler and I can swerve that into a yes in the yes department. Darren, you're going to love our shirts this year. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You will really love our shirts this year. And everybody out there will love our shirts this year, because even if you are just listening to us for the first time, and if you are, welcome. And thanks to the person that brought you over here, I would state that we're going to have some designs that people are going to like.
Yeah, everything's hand drawn, so it should be really cool.
We're not just going to have one design that everyone will like.
No. Cameron and Tyler and myself have all come up with some brilliant ideas, and we're not just putting each other over. We're basically saying that people are going to like these shirts. And the good thing about Zazzle, honestly, is the fact that they do like percentage off just like a lot of like Spreadshirt does percentage off too, Zazzle does percentage off. So, I mean, it's a little bit pricey, but I can assure you that I have my polo shirt, and it turned out great. And I know Tyler's getting one as well. So I can assure you the Zazzle shirts are definitely going to be worth it. And the Meetup shirt, I'm very happy with this one. I really am.
Oh yeah, it's definitely really specific to what we really like to do during meetups. That's for sure.
It'll be something that we're definitely going to be wearing on the regular. That's for sure. As long as we have them. Now, to not have every single shirt available for opening night, that's kind of that's the breaks with doing as many shirts as we're doing. I Want the Truth says, would you still accept a submission for an additional design? Hey, if you want to shoot us something, go right ahead. Maybe it's better than what we came up with. Maybe we can take your idea and add it to ours and make something beautiful. So you never know. But yeah, just get a hold of me on Twitter. So that's not a problem at all. But yes, character dining is something I don't think I'm able to do this year. I may end up doing it. Who knows? I mean, I'm doing nearly everything else, so I might as well at some point. Unmasking, the tour is going to be on Saturday night of opening weekend. And looking forward to that. It's kind of tradition. Darren said, Tyler, you'll appreciate this. Darren says, the meetup in the park, we need to watch A Day in the Park with Barney.
That's what I was just thinking.
Day in the park with Popcast.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking earlier. I'm like, oh, it could be a Day in the Park with Podcast.
Oh God, Barney. That's the most scariest zone in the park ever. Oh God.
If anybody asks, we're just standing in line for Tomb of the Ancients really early.
You.
Like, no, we're just here for the line. We promise.
You love me.
Oh great, I'm gonna have a panic attack now. Thanks, guys.
You're welcome.
But top to bottom, I think we have a lineup that works for everybody. And if there's something that doesn't necessarily fit your time frame or your ideal, what you want to do, one day, I'm assuring you there's something in those 8 meetups that you're going to want to do. If you can't go to Tucson or you can't go to the Hard Rock, then we can still meet up with people at the event itself or back in the park. That's not a problem at all. So, like I said, for the nights that we're going to be doing Hard Rock and Tucson, we're probably going to be doing the Stay and Scream at Lucy/Hello Kitty. So yeah, I think that's the podcast, gentlemen.
Yeah, I think it was very productive.
Very, very productive. I really hope, I sincerely hope to see some of you guys and girls out there at all of our meetups. And just like last year, and this is something that I was doing because I just wanted to see, it was like kind of an experiment to see if it would work. And it pretty much did. The hashtag is PopHHNMeetup. And I think we're going to stick with that. Whit Williams asked any tips on how to find Dr. Jimmy.
Oh, well, I'll tell you what, if you're looking for Dr. Jimmy, he just pops up out of nowhere. I ended up finding him the last night of the event when I was filming The Carnage Returned. I looked over to my right, and way off in the distance, I'm like, I think that's Dr. Jimmy. And then you're like, look for a while, like, oh, it is Dr. Jimmy. So yeah, he'll just pop up when you least expect it.
All I'm going to say right now, and don't look anything into this, I'm just making a comment. You never know what to expect at a Popcast Network meetup. I can assure you that there's some surprises that nobody knows about that may or may not happen that are going to make them even more legendary. So that's our show. I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. I want to thank Mark for joining us.
Thank you very much. I'll be at the Pop meetups. Some of them, who knows? I might just lose my mind at the event this time around. You just have to wait and see.
Mark, where can we find you on social media?
Well, I think you already have a direct link down in the description for my channel, The Man in the Molly Vest. I've got the Twitter account, which is @ManInMollyVest. I've got the Instagram, full name, same thing. And I ironically got a Snapchat, which is The Man in the Vest. I don't really use that, but you might see some work Snapchats there, here and there if I'm in a bad mood.
Okay. And Brian, I know you don't have traditional social media when it comes to like Twitter or anything.
That's
but
right. I'm that last person out there who's just like, no, I'm not conforming, not yet. It'll be the 20 more years, but I'll eventually get there. So.
One of us. One of us.
That's right. I gotta fight them off. I'm already fighting off pumpkin spice lattes, and I gotta fight off social media too.
So how can fans get a hold of you?
Well, you can just basically just look for me, here on YouTube, Barrel Bob. If you want to subscribe to a YouTuber who makes quality content once in a blue moon, that'll be me. Let's pop up one day, it's like, oh my God, he actually made something. But I promise you, every time it's gonna be good. So yeah, check me out, YouTube, Barrel Bob.
All right. And Cameron.
Oh, what?
How can we get at you on social media?
Oh yeah, Twitter.
At Cryptic Cam on Twitter. His YouTube channel, Cam from the Crypt, is available. Link in the description bar below.
And I hope
Twitter.
to see you guys at the meetups this year. It's gonna be one for the books, so make sure you don't miss out. And thanks for tuning in this season. It was a lot of fun. You guys rock.
And I can assure you that we're not done yet, because we'll be doing podcasts throughout the event, and we're going to be doing a final podcast in November that's going to be pretty awesome too.
Indeed.
That's all I'm going to say.
Intriguing. We shall see.
And Tyler.
Yeah, you can
Oh, whoa, okay.
You can go on mute directly as soon as he starts talking.
Little buffering.
It went on mute, you dumbass.
Oh my god.
That's great.
Failarmy.com.
It's all in the description. You can look there.
At Homemade Hunt on Twitter, link in the description bar to the YouTube channel. Check out Ian, another member of the Elite, at Theme Park Browse, and his link in the description bar. Travis at Travis Coaster, at HHN Dog for Will, that's DAWG. Shout out to the newest member of the Elite, Mel, and she's at Melody TH Disnerd. And her link to her Tumblr is actually in the description bar below. Shout out to First Class Horror. Aaron will possibly be joining us for a meetup or two. It's class_horror on Twitter. And another shout out to Ryan at Ryan Roscoe. His link in the description bar below. Links to everyone is going to be in the description bar. And I will also put in the description bar later, when you actually get this up on YouTube and actually up on iTunes, the lineups, the actual meetups themselves are going to be in here, or at least like an abbreviated version of them. So that being said, I want to thank you guys and girls out there for watching. And I want to thank everyone in live chat. We had a great time tonight talking to every one of you. And we hope to see you at the PopHHN meetups this year. And until tomorrow, boys and girls, that's all we got to say about that.
Boost.
Long live
Take care,
the
everybody.
network. A network reborn.